And then more than that, and my final point, is with regard to the internet. Because some of our sisters in Islam, and I alluded to this in the beginning of the khutbah, MashaAllah, tabarakallah, they have a heart with a good intention. And they want to correct themselves. And they want to cover. And you see them covering properly in every way. And then they are exposed to the YouTube hijab tutorials. And Allahul Musta'an. Some shaytana, a devil in the sight or in the clothing of a human being, comes and says that this is how you should wear your hijab. And then they take this sister who wants to wear the hijab and they ruin her. And they teach her how to beautify her hijab so that she looks more beautiful in her hijab than she does out of her hijab. And in Facebook and Twitter and all of the rest, that the people are there and they are not saying to our sisters, take off your hijab. They are telling them to take it off in a different way, to beautify it, to put on the makeup, to wear it in a style that makes you look good. I say to our sisters in Islam, if your hijab looks good, it is not the Islamic hijab. Wallahi, if your hijab looks good, you have contradicted the very asal, the very fundamental, the very purpose of the hijab. The purpose of the hijab is to divert the sight. The purpose of the hijab is to conceal. The purpose of the hijab is to protect. The purpose of the hijab is to set a standard and to send a message that this sister is a practicing Muslim woman and she's not the kind of cheap individual with low self-worth that sells themselves for a low price. That is what the hijab is for. And there are sisters telling our sisters in Islam, and most of them are from the Sufiya or from the people from Ahlul Bid'ah, and they are coming and telling our sisters in Islam to remove their hijab in a different way. Whether it is the way that they wear it, or the color, or the design, or the way to look at it, and none of them have any knowledge of Islam, or any knowledge of fiqh. And yet they come, and in a way that attracts people who want to practice Islam, and this is from the shubahat that we must be careful of. This is from the shubahat that as brothers and sisters we must be careful of. And so this khutbah today is not simply aimed towards only our sisters in Islam, but towards the brothers who are responsible for them, and indeed towards the whole Muslim community, to come together to protect one of our greatest assets in Islam. The greatest mata', the best of the pleasures of this dunya, the best thing that you can have in this dunya is a pious woman. And this asset of ours is being eroded and attacked by the non-Muslims and by some of the Muslims as well. And so it's an obligation upon all of us to come together to stop this, to come together to educate, to support, and to encourage and to teach our families and to prevent them from those things which would harm them, whether those things come from the school or whether they come from the TV or whether they come from the internet.